I am the living legend of hair loss, the true alpha male, and your personal hairline hero. Now let's get to work. It's funny because I don't respond to every single comment that I receive, but sometimes I'm filming and then comments pop up while I'm filming. So I'm like, okay, sure. I might as well just respond to that in real time, take a little bit of a different approach to that. So I made a video recently called COVID-19 Buzz Cut for Balding, how to pull off the look. And so Nexon Gaming asked me this question. Nick, I've got a question. Do cardio workouts such as running, treadmill, or jump ropes cause hair loss? And of course I responded, it is impossible to cause hair loss. Now this is a reoccurring question, and I do want to take a different angle in answering this way, because I know even just last week I made a video saying, does working out cause hair loss? And my fundamental answer every single time would be, it's impossible to cause hair loss. I know that we would like to think that we could cause it, that we could prevent it, because if we could prevent it, we could stop it, or we could reverse it. It's a matter of focusing on what you can control and not on what you can't. You can't control hair loss. You were born with DNA that determined from the moment you were conceived whether or not you were going to be aggressively balding by the age of 35 or not. Either you have that DNA or you don't. And the older you get, the closer you get to age 35, the more that will confirm whether you have that DNA. You cannot cause hair loss. It's impossible. In theory, I've tried to go bald and I couldn't. I've done things on this channel to try to make that happen. And at 39, here's where I'm still at. So I said it is impossible to cause hair loss, to which Nexon Gaming Incorporated said, quote, I've read in the internet that cardio workouts cause sweating, which that's true, that it does cause sweating, and that consists of lactic acid, which is not good. I'm actually really confused, to which I simply responded saying, don't be confused, it's all a lie. So there we go. Let's talk about this. There are a lot of people on the internet talking about hair loss that have no idea what they're talking about and only tell you what you want to hear. Now I get it. I get it. Very easily, people could say that about me. They could say that I'm full of lies and that I tell people what they want to hear, whatever. I could be the biggest hypocrite as I'm saying this. Now, fact, and I stopped doing this about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. For about a year and a half on my channel, I was daily applying rosemary oil and eating pumpkin seeds and all of this stuff that we read on the internet to figure out if it will have an effect on hair loss. Now, did I personally want it to work or care that it worked? No. But I was proving a point in that year and a half of my life, and that ended like 2.5 years ago. But that year and a half, and I died, it's all on this channel. I find actually a lot of my viewers find me because of those old videos. The whole point personally was not, oh, I hope it works. The whole point was, I'm gonna prove either it works or doesn't work. And I don't care at the end of the day whether it does, but I'm gonna set the record straight. I'll be the only man in the universe to ever on YouTube in real time track this for a year and a half and prove either way. But ultimately the agenda was to prove that everything we read on the internet is not true. So when it comes to hair loss cures or preventing hair loss or causing hair loss, people are desperate to prove something. We're not going to prove anything here other than what I consistently say. You're born with DNA that determines whether you are aggressively balding by age 35 or not. Because if you're gonna go bald, you're basically gonna go bald by age 35. Guys who have no hair on top typically went that way before the age of 35. When you were conceived in your mother's womb, that moment, it was already determined when you would go bald, if you were going to go bald. It's already determined. The older you get, the closer you get to 35, it's confirmed. So let's look at a guy who turned 39 this week. 48 hours ago, I turned 39. When I was conceived in 1980 and born in 1981, it was already determined that for most of my adult life, I would have most of my hair. Yes, I'd have a receding hairline, and yes, it'd be thinner on top, and probably no one would really be paying attention to that. But as far as a man with a full head of hair, am I suddenly gonna go bald a year from now when I turn 40? Most likely not. Is it possible? Yes. It's already in the DNA coding either way, and I'm not worried about it either way. Chances are, by the time I'm 50, chances are I'll probably still have most of my hair. I also think that this balding spot, this thinning spot, might get aggressively worse in the next 10 years, and we may see some serious scalp by the time I'm closer to 50. So be it. But ultimately, it's that predictable. You either have the DNA or not. We can't cause it. We can't prevent it. There's no cure because it's not a disease. But those beta thinkers out there, those weak-minded thinkers who base their identity and confidence level and emotions on other people, giving them power or not, they will tell you that, oh, yeah, you can stop it. If nothing else, you can pop some pills or you can have a hair transplant. That's what they're going to tell you. People on the internet will tell you what you want to hear if you're willing to listen to it. If you're willing to buy the product, they're willing to tell you that. And I think that's one of the most fascinating things about my channel and my approach here. What am I selling anybody? I mean, I've been very clear. You trade me your time and I get ad revenue from that. I purposely try to make most of my videos 10 minutes long because YouTube rewards people like that because they want to steal people away from Netflix. So if I have a 10-minute video, they're more likely to put it in the suggested feed. This is not going to be one of those videos. Sometimes I need to do shorter ones because people are more likely to watch ones that are less than 10 minutes. So I have to do a little bit of both. But if I'm selling anybody anything, it's that. I'm selling what I perceive as truth, but as a recent Joe Biden gaffe, if that's the right way to pronounce it, truth over fact. Truth over fact, which is funny when you say it out loud, but it's the internet, it's confusing. What is truth? What is fact? You get to determine what you believe is true or not on the internet when it comes to hair loss. But Nick Schell is telling everybody there's no cure for hair loss. You cannot cause hair loss. You cannot prevent hair loss. You were born with DNA that determined it, and you age and you get closer to age 35 and then you'll know that much more. That's the only truth we're gonna find on that topic. It's never gonna be anything beyond that. Comments, your version of truth belongs right here.